Hello and welcome everybody to Tuesday Night TerrorVision here at with Horror. I'm your host Etep, joined by Mrs. Co-host Trina. How you doing, Trina?
I'm well, happy to be here. Looking forward to this review, and hello to everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining us.
Hail and welcome to the chat. Let's see who we got up in here. Let's see. We've got superfan Adam Shawhan in the house. What's going on? Dragon Buddy's in the house. Hail. Papa says he peed on my rug again. Damn it, Papa. That rug really tied the room together. Draven's in the house. What's going on? It is, man. We're just up in here tonight, man. It's yeah, I got all the hooker lights going. We're set. We're having a rave afterwards. Hope you guys got the invites. You actually have to pee on them to reveal the location of the compound. So Godspeed, Spider-Man. But no, we're gonna review a fun movie tonight. One that very reminiscent of another kind of series I enjoyed, Goosebumps. The movies, not the show, the movies. The show was great enough as it was, but the movies were really fun too. But before we do that, Dragon Buddy, that's a perfect segue because you mentioned Club Etep. Well, Trina, I was at the club and bumped into some really nasty characters the other night. Do you want to see the footage, the security camera footage from this?
Yeah.
It was, yeah, I was very out of place. So I'll roll the footage and just show you what happened. Yeah, it was nice. It was fun. I got out of there quick. I didn't hang around very long. It was a tough crowd. There was something wrong with Freddy Krueger's face. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with him. It was almost like it was too small for his head or something. I don't know.
That was fantastic. I love it.
Yes. I made that for the beginning of my Raw review today. I'm just like, what am I did something similar last week. I'm like, let's step up the game a little bit and just dance. Let's just dance terribly and look like a fucking moron and just have fun with it. That's what I did. Yeah. So yeah, that was fun to shoot. You know, it took some time to edit it. It actually took longer to edit the intro than it did to edit the rest of the video. That was the difficulty of the entire situation. But let's see. The guys, those guys make taking you clubbing something to maybe pass on. Yeah, Dragon Buddy. They're like I said, it's a tough crowd, man. It's a tough crowd. Let me speaking of Dragon Buddy, he's one of our channel members out there. We got channel members, we got patrons, and we got to thank those folks. So let's thank the channel members and the Patreon backers, the Brainbusters here, the Kazooians, the Harvey Wakuian producers, and the Brainbusters. Thank you.
Let's take this opportunity to thank our channel members. Scrambles the Death Dealer, Trina from Real Horror, that's Mrs. Co-host to you, Just Joe 47, Dragon Buddy, the Carl you know and love, Superfan Adam Shawhan, Amanda Benson, Nelson the Psychopath, Bad Take Bojan, Manliness and Motivation, AngelousDraven, Instant Regret, Anime Night 1992, Normie, Rugo Better, Hicksville, JB, Jason Holt, Godzillionaire, Chris Wicks, Glinzer, Judas Goat Barbecue, and Frog G. Thank you, channel members. Brainbusters, don't think I forgot about you guys over on Patreon. I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining, becoming Brainbusters, as I said. We got Tyler Wooten, Chicago Joe 47, and Yakuse Kitamono. Thank you so much for supporting us on Patreon. That's patreon.com/wrestlingwithhorror420. Yeah, thank you everybody for supporting us. We appreciate you guys and gals out there so much. You know, we got some more gifts to give away here, courtesy of YouTube. They do us a solid and they say, hey, here's 10 memberships to give away a month. We've given away a couple. Dragon Buddy actually joined. Tomorrow I got something for channel members planned, gang. So stay tuned for that. There's 5 more gifts we just threw out courtesy of YouTube, folks. And don't forget, before Halloween this year, where's it at? Jesus, these flashing lights. I feel like Kanye West. We're giving away the Thing 3-pack of discs with the original Thing, the Thing from Another World, and the 2011 Is it a prequel? I've never seen it. I've never.
Yeah, it's a prequel.
Okay. But there's special features on here, folks. We're giving this away this month for you guys. Just a way to say thank you.
That's an awesome gift. That is awesome.
You know, we like to, we try to give back. So yeah, just it's the little things. It's the little things. And so that's just, our way of saying thank you for supporting us, coming out, checking out the streams. Draven says it's pretty good.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Looks like Dragon Buddy wasn't too much of a fan.
It exists. Awesome gift, though. Well, thank you, man. Yeah, you're getting 2 good movies and one questionable one. I haven't seen it yet. So, yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Mm-hmm, you do. I think you'll like it.
I just watched the original one again. I'd forgotten how good that was. And literally all night tonight, it was Taco Tuesday at the Wakuian Manor. So I was making tacos tonight. And as I'm cooking, I was cleaning up the kitchen and stuff and, prepping dinner. I was listening to nothing but John Carpenter synth scores from all of his movies just on a playlist. God. Yeah. The music from Christine and Escape from LA are just fucking fantastic stuff. But I mean, let's face it, John Carpenter has so many quality tracks that he's produced over the years that it's so hard to just narrow it down to a couple.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just memorable scores. But we're going to talk about a movie that we're not sure if it's memorable yet, if it will be deemed as memorable. But we are reviewing tonight the 2022 fantasy horror, YA horror, Spirit Halloween. Here we go. So I heard of this movie. I was aware of it. I'd never seen it.
Same.
I believe I think it was Tommy that mentioned it when it came out. And we were kind of joking around about it or something like that. But I wasn't sure. I didn't watch any trailers. I went into this completely blind. Outside of Christopher Lloyd, who, God bless him, it was cool to see him in this. I didn't really recognize anybody from the cast. Nobody, not any of the adult actors. Obviously, the kid actors I've never seen before, but the adult actors even, which they weren't really much of a part of the movie outside of Christopher Lloyd's voice acting, which he was still on point. He still sounds like Doc Brown,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He hasn't lost it. He's like, what, 90? He's got to be 90.
He's gotta be. He doesn't look that bad though. Well, I mean, in the movie, I don't know, like what kind of magic they did for the movie. But I think, I thought he did a great job.
Yeah, because this was probably filmed, I'd say, in 2021, because it dropped in 2022. This doesn't strike me as something they spent a lot of time at the editing bay with. You know what I mean? Like, obviously,
I agree.
And I'm not saying that as a slight to the movie either, because I enjoyed this. I really did.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Thank you, manliness.
Look at this. Are we going to talk about Trina's favorite? I can't even say. So I don't know. Buddy.
No, that's a bad word.
Spirit Halloween, every store in the strip mall's nightmare. Dragon Buddy, come into your empty Kmart for 6 weeks, right? He's 85 now.
In my area, they always set up in a like a vacant store in like a little small,
like a smaller strip mall.
Yeah, I call them smalls, but that's it's awesome. I love those stores.
I'm probably gonna go to one on Monday because we're going to do some Christmas shopping on Monday. So because the wife has a day off. So we'll go do some Christmas shopping, and there's a Spirit Halloween. There isn't one in my town. There's actually like a dedicated costume shop here.
Cool.
Yeah. The guy that owns it is a like magician. He does sleight of hand and stuff. Super cool guy. He actually trained my buddy Jared, who's the wrestler and bodybuilder, runs Super Shogun Pro. He knows sleight of hand too. He does magic, and the guy that owns the costume shop taught him how to do it, which is kind of
that's cool. So the costume shop, like, does he carry like do they look like vintage, like good quality costumes, or like are they like Spirit Halloween costumes?
He has everything. He has everything.
Nice.
He has like a full-on Chewbacca suit, like that's around $950.
Oh, dude!
It is Trina. I've had to like hold my baser instincts to just buy it.
You need to like go in there and take us on a tour of it.
I can do that. I could probably. He's open tomorrow. I could probably go in tomorrow. I'm sure, because I want to go in there and look for some just more props and stuff anyway. So I'm sure he wouldn't mind if I went in and shot some footage. He'd probably love the publicity, honestly.
That's true.
So, yeah, he had a full clone, the blue and white clone trooper, Generation 2, like full clone suit. He's got a little bit of everything. Yeah, see right here. Godzillionaire's got it. I need to do a super chat drive for the Chewie suit. If I made $950 in super chats in like one show, I would just, I don't know. That would be fucking, I don't know. First of all, I don't expect that out of anybody. Okay. If I wanted to drop the money, God knows I could. The problem is I won't. You know what I mean? Like, I would love that. Nothing more than to just walk in there and buy that bitch. But feasibility, I'd have to buy the mannequin that came with it, because that's something that you have to display. You can't just buy that and pack it away in a closet. Like the Darth Vader I bought, I finally sucked it up and I put it in the living room. It's on display now all the time. I just like, I can't keep him down here in all good faith. I told my son's friends, I'm like, if you touch him, I'll murder you. But you can look at him. I was like, Trey's the only one that's allowed to touch him and make him talk, because he knows how to turn him off and on. I'm like, anybody else touches him, you're dead. So but okay, Spirit Halloween the movie. Here we go. So we got Christopher Lloyd playing what was his name? Alec Windsor.
Yeah.
Alec Windsor. He's a landowner, and the beginning of the movie is like 1931, I think it said. Around there.
Oh, did it? I didn't catch that part.
Yep. It was like Halloween of 1931, and he goes and forecloses on a orphanage, which I didn't know it was an orphanage. I just thought it was he was taking some family's home away, until I saw the diversity of the children there, and they mentioned it later on that it was an orphanage. So he's evicting them from the orphanage, and she like casts a spell on him, the lady that runs it, and nothing happens. And then he laughs and he's joking around about it, and then he just fucking drops dead. Like drops dead right there. And then we go to the present day, and we are introduced to, let's see, we have okay, so I said they show that the Spirit Halloween gets built on the land where the orphanage was, and they're like they because they panned around inside there, I think, didn't they, at the very beginning before we meet the kid? Well, no, we meet the kids and we get like the sweeping wide drone shot of like the town, which one of the things that I didn't get a chance to take many notes because I was too busy like writing like what happened down and just jotting down notes about the characters and the effects and the plot. Let's see, hang on. I wanted to find the cinematography in this was actually really well done.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised. Between cinematography and set pieces, there's a lot of things in this movie that looked fantastic. The town, the aesthetic of the town looked freaking great.
Oh, I loved that. I thought like they made it kind of look 80s, like an 80s horror, and that looked awesome. Yeah, the way that they shot the kids riding their bikes through town, that just, it really looked good.
It was almost like a love letter to the Goonies, and Stranger Things, and the Goosebumps 2, definitely Goosebumps 2, the Haunted Halloween one. That there was big time homages to those, and like a lot of 80s stuff with the theater. The aesthetic of the theater and the town overall, even though it was set in present day, it was still very. They did a great job with the location and the set and just the shots in general. Like I said, I want to look up what the budget was on this, but
I tried to find it. I couldn't find the budget for it, but I found. I think it pulled in. Was it like 72,000? But I couldn't find the budget on it. But yeah, like as far as like the aesthetic, I feel like if they didn't have the cell phones, they could have built this as an 80s movie.
Yeah.
Everything else fit.
Yeah, that was the only thing that really drew it into the modern times was the cell phones. And like the fact that they use like Instagram to find the challenge or whatever to stay there overnight. But yeah, I said the town and the neighborhoods look great. The store, the aesthetic of the store looked spot on. And later on we go to like a tunnel system and there's the little house underground. Damn, did that look good. I'm like, that's not CG either. That looks like a sound stage, like they built that on.
Yeah, definitely.
Which I appreciate that way more than CGI, you know. So
always,
absolutely, there's nothing that's better than practical effects, especially in movies like this, because it just adds that much more to it. So our main characters, we have the Alec Windsor character, Christopher Lloyd, and it's funny. Initially, this is how, before I learned the kids' names, I have Wish.com Mike from Stranger Things. That's Jake, our main character. Because he looks like Mike from Stranger Things, except he doesn't have that goofy of a face.
Yeah, I agree.
So would that make Mike Wish.com Jake from Spirit? I don't know. We'll figure it out later. Carson, I called Mop Top. And Bo was Diverse Kid. And then we have Kate, who is Carson's half sister, and there was a theme with like the families in here. Did you notice that? Like they were all like blended families.
Yeah, blended families. Yep.
Yeah. And I don't mean racially or ethnically. I mean, they were all like, Mike's father had passed away, and his mother was remarried. And I said, what did I say about the dad? I said Frank, the stepdad, was a beta. That's the first impression I got from him. Was like, I was like, yeah, the mom was probably married to like a man's man, and then he died, and then she remarried, and it's a cliche like beta type male. And my first impressions of him weren't very favorable. I'm like, like, is he going to be like the asshole stepdad? Which, to his credit, he really wasn't. He wasn't.
No, he was fine actually.
Yep, he was fine. He was fine. The mom really didn't have too much to do during the course. There was like towards the end of the movie, she became more of a part of it, but just little bit pieces throughout. You had his stepsister Joanne, who is, you can tell she's kind of like the favorite. She's into gymnastics because they show him looking at pictures on the fridge, and like her gymnastics photos are in there and shit like that. But she's just like a sweet little girl, you know. And he's kind of a dick to her. Jake is at the beginning of the movie.
Which that kind of didn't make sense to me, because it's not. It didn't make sense because it's not they. So it's not like Frank came in with his own daughter. It was his mom and Frank that had Joni. So that's, you know, he knew her from infancy. So that didn't make sense to me, that he was kind of dicky to her.
Yeah.
But he does soften up.
He does. Which, yeah, that was, given what we get from Jake the rest of the movie, that was totally out of character.
Yeah.
It really was. And I get they're establishing that he's still hung up on his dad passing away, and, you know, but yeah. It's not, it was kind of sad. I like felt bad for the little girl. I was like, yeah, man, like, you know, like that's a dick move. You know, she's trying to help with the decorations, but that all comes full circle too. So let's see. So Carson and Bo, they tell Jake they don't want to go trick-or-treating. He's huge into Halloween. This is like this kid's life. He loves Halloween.
He's the horror geek.
He is. This was me as a kid. And I trick-or-treated until I was 17.
Oh my God. Let me think. I think it was like 7th or 8th grade was my last time.
But see, when I was older, I drove my sisters.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, I drove my sisters around when I was old enough to, you know. So it was, you know, it was like, I wasn't just me, but it would always be like me and one of my friends, and then like my 2 younger sisters would go. So yeah, that was fun. You know, I got to take them. So I was like I used to set my like these horror scenes up on my mom. We had this big round glass table in our living room, and I used to set like and take like the cobwebs, and like the monsters from like my He-Man and Star Wars figures would be like chasing like the regular like G.I. Joes and Star Wars figures that were humans. That's how I would set like little horror scenes up with that.
That's fantastic.
But and my mom would just let me do it too. She's like, go ahead, you know. But yeah, it was she was cool with that. But so yeah, Jake is very into Halloween. Like this is his holiday, and they're like, you know, we're too old. Carson, and not so much Bo, but Carson, because he's got whiskers on his chin. They're going into high school next year. You know, they want to go to Ray Marino's party at first. That's what they want to do because Kate, Carson's sister's going, so they think they can sneak into this party. And Jake has a little bit of a crush on Kate, which we find out pretty early in the movie. And they go to they figure out something to do, and they go to see it's like Fright Night, and it's like a play, and it's the history of Alec Windsor, which was kind of neat. It was like a puppet thing, which was kind of cool.
I like how they enacted the beginning of the movie, like because that's the lore of the town, and so that the puppet show was the reenactment of the beginning of the movie. I like that.
Yeah, it was kind of neat. It was a nice, and I think I wrote it in here. Yeah, I said the boys go to see the Fright Night, The Legend of Alec Windsor, which is our exposition dump that tells the Windsor story. So it served a double purpose. It really was more exposition.
Yep, absolutely.
And it's after this they kind of they're going back and forth about what to do for Halloween, because this is Devil's Night basically. So the next night they're like they make the decision to stay in the Spirit Halloween store. They're gonna sneak in because I think it wasn't like an Instagram challenge that they saw or something like that.
I can't remember. Yeah,
or they just saw it on Instagram.
Yeah, it was definitely they saw something on social media and it talked about that it would be like either fun or creepy to get like locked in Spirit Halloween for the night. I don't remember if it was a challenge or not, but yeah, they found it on social media, and that's what gives Jake the idea, like, because they were like, well, we're not going to this party, so what else are we gonna do? Because Carson really doesn't want to go trick-or-treating, and Jake finds that on social media, and he's like, I have an idea, we'll do this.
Yeah, so they're gonna go stay in the store, and they all lie to their parents about where they're going. It's like, I'm going to his house, I'm going to his house, I'm going to his house. And okay, so we've got the circle of the lie formed now. So they sneak in, and we get the montage. We get the obligatory montage of them, which is, it's funny when they sneak in though. Before we get to the montage, they're all hiding in coffins.
Yeah,
they're all hiding in the gimmick coffins, which is kind of cool. You see the guy go out and lock up, and Bo's freaked out because they're locked in. He saw they like closed the gate thing over the door, and so they're locked in now.
Yep.
Then we get our montage of them having a sword fight, like lightsaber battle almost. All over the store, which was kind of cool. They're having fun. This was like our kind. I don't know. Was there a montage like this in Goonies? Kind of. I'm trying to think. There was montages. There was montages in Goonies, but they were different. But no, this was the lightheartedness before the plot kicks in, because we're still in the first act here.
Yeah.
So they're walking around after the montage ends. They're walking around, and you get these little, as they're kind of like getting freaked out by various things, like opening or popping open the little gags in the store. And then we get the lights start flickering, and they go out. And if you have more detailed notes, I just kind of like bounced through with just little like cliff notes. But so we've got the weird things start happening in the store, and Jake's mom at this point is kind of like wondering, didn't she find out? Or because Carson's phone comes into question, and Kate finds his phone on his bed when she's getting ready to go to the party, because she was talking to her mom on the phone.
So Jake's mom starts worrying about Jake, so she calls. Because he said he was staying at Carson, so she calls Kate, because their parents are away and Kate's in charge for the weekend. So she calls Kate, and Kate's like, "Oh yeah, they're fine." And I can't remember the excuse she gave them, but she's fine. She finds out that Carson forgot his phone. So she takes it, and she actually tells Jake's mom that they're at Bo's house because there's this like circle of like they're all like I'll say I'm here, you say you're there, and all that, and so Kate says, oh, they're actually at Bo's tonight, and then so she takes Carson's phone and she goes to Bo's, and Bo's grandmother is sitting on the porch.
Yeah, we didn't mention her earlier either. I forgot. Because Jake has that moment with her where you get that, and it's like her eyes. She's like, "Don't stay out too late tonight."
Yeah. Yep.
And you're like, "Is this foreboding? Like, is she like the crazy Ralph of this movie? Is that great? Is that Mima's role in this? She's the crazy Ralph."
It seems like it. It does seem like it. She's definitely, yeah. She's the creepy one. I mean, other than Alec Windsor himself. But yeah. So then, let me see. Okay, yeah. So after that, she's like, nobody's home. So then Kate goes and she sits down and she's looking at Carson's phone, trying to figure out what they're up to, and she sees that post about Spirit Halloween, and she's like, oh man. So she decides to go. She heads over to Spirit Halloween. Meanwhile, the boys are sitting around and they're playing with an 8-ball, and Bo asks, am I gonna get the hell out of here or something like that, and they're getting those funny answers from the 8-ball, and then they ask another question, and the fortune teller thing, that's the booth that's set up in the store, Drana, all of a sudden says, ask the right questions, you'll get the right answers. And so that freaks him out, and then she says that a couple of times. So they walk over to it and they start asking it questions, and they ask, is Alec Windsor here? And it dings yes, and does he want something, and dings yes, and what does he want? And all of a sudden the she starts, like, the fortune teller thing starts to kind of like smoke and then laugh, and then the clock tolls, and then let me see, then the Reaper, that Reaper thing.
Yeah, he possesses the Reaper.
Yeah. And then he says the Reaper comes in the dark of night, and it's said in the regular, like, that mechanical voice, but then in Alec Windsor's voice, it says, and so do I. And then he starts going after the kids, and they're running through the store trying to avoid him.
That was a freaking cool scene, and the way they did the possessions with the various characters was fucking fantastic.
It was good.
Okay, so the best part of when the skeleton was chasing them. Okay, so they're laying around and they're all eating candy, right?
Yes.
And was it Carson or Jake that went to give Bo something? He's like, I can't. It's chocolate.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah.
I'm lactose intolerant. He's like, come on. He's like, all right, and he eats some. They're hiding from the skeleton in this little display, and all of a sudden, Bo's like, and they're like, oh, and he's like, I'm lactose intolerant. And all of a sudden, the fucking skull just, bah! He's like right there, and they all just bust out the sides of it. Oh my God, I was fucking dead. I'm like, and I wrote, Bo farts and gives away their hiding spot.
Yep. That was good. This was definitely kids can watch this movie.
Oh, absolutely. Trey watched this with us. He enjoyed it.
Did he love it?
Yeah, he really did. He liked this.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was glad because he didn't see the very beginning. We kind of explained it to him, and when he came in and sat down, and Yeah, he was glued to it. We watched it. So that's why I was running behind, was because I usually get him to bed a little bit earlier, and we didn't get upstairs until 8 o'clock. So it took me a little bit to get him to sleep. But yeah, he was, because I was like, you can sit here and watch the movie with us, bud, so it's a rarity. One of the movies that we review, he can watch all the way through, so let's see. Oh, okay. So Kate has found the store, and she is talking to Jake's mom on the phone right before she goes in, and the reception cuts out. There's nothing there. It's like a dead zone.
Yeah, they make it a point, like when the boys first find the store, they discover that where the store is a dead zone for cell phones and all that. So when she shows up, she's talking to Jake's mom, and it keeps cutting out.
Yep. So Kate, she's trying to figure out how to get in. She goes to the doors. Obviously, they're locked. She climbs up on the roof, and she slides down through a vent like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible.
Yes.
Right into the fucking store. I'm like, damn, that was easy. So easy a 14-year-old can do it, apparently. That's not a very good security system there.
No. I was wondering, how'd she get on the roof? But then I'm like, well, it's just a movie for kids.
There was a ladder. There was a ladder going up the side of the building.
Oh, there was? Okay, I missed that. Okay.
Yeah, they showed her climbing.
Okay.
Because I was thinking, I was like, how the fuck is she gonna get in? Like, all the doors are locked. They've got the gate thing down or something. They're all padlocked or bolted, whatever. So it's like, she fucking goes through the big exhaust vent on the roof. She just opened it up and went right down the hatch like John Locke in Lost. So, luckily, she didn't get shot by Desmond. See you around, brother.
Yep.
It's not Penny's boat. It's not Penny's boat. I did that to the wife once. I was at work, and I was watching Lost, and we both love that show. Like, so I took and I wrote with like a dry erase marker on my hand, not Penny's boat, and I took a picture of it and I texted it to her while she's working, and she's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Jesus Christ." She's like, "Jesus Christ, I'm at work." I'm like, so am I. I was like, look, I'm like, if we can't joke around like this, I don't think this marriage is gonna work. And I still try, and I still get swatted like a bad jump shot, and it's been 15 years. So yeah. I told her, I was like, one more time and I'm gone. One more time. Sell my shit one more time. Like, yeah. So Kate gets in. She's probably outside the door with a piece of cake. Now she's going to throw it at me. I had a piece of that for lunch, so if I don't get one tonight, I'm fine. The tunnel leads to... Okay, so we go... okay, wait. I skipped ahead. Jesus Christ. So, the teddy bear. He possesses a big-ass fucking teddy bear. After... what did they do? How did they stop the Reaper one?
They took a bat to its head, and the head fell off.
Yep. So then the spirit leaves it, and it's floating around. It's like a little orb, and it sees there's a big ass teddy bear in a fucking shopping cart. So it possesses the teddy bear, and
I like when it possesses the teddy bear. So when it possesses the teddy bear gets mean eyebrows.
Yeah. Yeah, his eyebrows adjusted. It was like one of them women that like shave their eyebrows off and they just draw them on every day. They drew the angry face on today.
Yes.
Are those the Latina eyebrows?
Yes, that's what they are.
Latina eyebrows. Mira, I'm mad at you. Fuck you. Hang on a second. See, now I'm mad. So the teddy bear. Or wait, La Teddy Beara. That's terrible Spanish. That's Spanglish. So the teddy bear is chasing them around, and we find out he needs a body by midnight to return to Earth in human form. So the bears chase him around, and the kids barricade themselves in a like this, what is it, like the storage room in the back?
Yeah, it's like some kind of back room, like probably where they monitor stuff and whatnot.
Yep. So they barricade themselves in there, and the bears fucking ramming the door and talking shit
Yeah.
the whole time. It's fucking great because at this point it's just ADR Christopher Lloyd, you know?
Yeah.
And he's running his mouth, and you've got this faceless actor in the fucking bear suit just miming this all out while he's ramming into the door and shit. So they're like, we got to find something. There's got to be another way out of here. And Kate's like blueprints. And they're like, yeah. So they're looking around, and Kate finds the blueprints. And I was like, oh, the girl figured out not only the way to get out, but found the means to find that way out. Woke.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. No.
No, I actually saw it too.
I kind of did, but I'm like, let's not, because like her character wasn't, I wouldn't say wasn't OP'd or OP'd, Jesus Christ, R. Kelly. The character wasn't OP, but she was kind of the girl that was the key to everything.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's like, yeah, she was the hero.
Yeah, it was like, and Jake was supposed to be, but he took like the second fiddle. He was almost like the final girl.
Yeah. Oh my God. I didn't even think of that. You're right. That is.
Yeah.
Jake was the final girl. Oh my God.
Jake was the final girl, and Kate was the leading man in this.
Oh no. Don't make me not like this movie.
It came to me, and I was like, damn. Like, damn, look at the way the roles are portrayed. He's like the more meek and sensitive one, and she's kind of like not the tough chick, but she's more, and I don't want to say masculinized because she's not.
No,
not
she's
anyway. Not. She's not. She's a feminine young woman. That's how she's portrayed. But it's just her, just the way the character was written was a leading man.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, without being masculinized.
Yeah. Like almost quasi like boss lady, but not.
Yeah.
But she wasn't annoying.
No, she wasn't annoying. She wasn't mean to Jake, even when she found out he had a crush on. She wasn't mean to him. She was never like, like you. Like it was like, well, that's not going to happen. But she was sweet to him.
Yeah.
And there was, you could tell there was a respect between the characters. So I don't want to completely like, shit on it in that respect. But Jake was the final girl. Yeah,
I have to agree.
He was. And it's kind of like, that's why it was almost like that in Goosebumps too. But the two boys, but they were younger. See, this is the one reason I don't get mad at this, is because, well, they're like a year or two younger than her.
Yeah, I'm not really clear on how much older she is, but she talks like she's a lot older than them, but she's obviously still in high school.
I think she's supposed to be a freshman. I think she might be a year older than them.
Okay.
Maybe. I think it's a year. She's either a freshman or a sophomore because she's not driving.
Well,
she doesn't have a car.
That's true. She's not driving. And Ray and her crush, Ray Marino, is varsity. So you get that in what grade? Is that 11th grade?
11th grade. You could be on varsity if you're good enough as a freshman or a sophomore, but generally, it's junior year by rule that you like you're on varsity. If you would be on your varsity team.
Okay, so at most she's 2 years older.
Yeah,
that's at the very most.
Yep, because she's not driving, so she's definitely an underclassman. She's a freshman or a sophomore.
Yeah.
Or if we want to get technical, a really young junior, because one of my best friends, she didn't turn 16 until like our junior year, because her birthday was so late. Yeah. She didn't turn 18 until November of her freshman year of college. Like I remember taking her to the Indian reservation to go get cigarettes, like because they were tax free and they were cheap as fuck. So when I would go down because I had class now, I was going to CC where her university was just south of me here, and there's an Indian res there in a casino, so we'd go to the gas station to get squares because they were cheap. But I had to do that until she turned 18. It was funny. But so she's a sophomore, we'll say. I'd say sophomore freshman, so in that range. But she wasn't ever like obtuse, or she didn't go full girl boss.
No, nothing was like heavy-handed. Even as you said, and I didn't even realize it till you said it, Jake being the final girl, that was not even heavy-handed, because I didn't even pick up on it until you mentioned it. But he definitely, like, thinking back on how the movie goes, he is the final girl.
The only thing that kind of pulls that back is his arc, because Jake does have a character arc in this.
Yep.
He really does, which it's kind of refreshing to see, the way it played out. And we see the struggle at the beginning. We see the him pushing back against his stepdad, his sister, his friends, for what he sees as abandoning their traditions, even though they're kind of aging out of them, which that's subjective to me. You can still enjoy. No, I'm not saying, you're 18 years old, go trick-or-treating. Like I said, I was taking my younger sisters when I was 17 because I could drive, and that gave my parents, they didn't have to do it. So, it's just, but he sees that as his friends abandoning him. And the character of Bo, diverse character, is, he's never annoying. He was kind of like, Bo was very intelligent. His knowledge came into play during the movie at key moments, which, again, if I'm like woke, no, I'm just kidding. I kid. I have to be sarcastic about that shit, because it's like, there's people that watch that and we're like, this is woke. Like, it's really not. It's really not.
It's not woke. It's definitely not.
It's not. It was an enjoyable. We're not done yet, but I'm just saying this was an enjoyable, fun, lighthearted family movie. There was really nothing objectionable, negative.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
There was none of that new agenda stuff. You know what I mean? No. There was nothing like. No, it was wholesome.
It was a whole movie. It really was.
And so, as far as Jake's character arc, it's actually really relevant. How it all happens, because like he's very resistant to, like leaving trick-or-treating behind and all that stuff. And the reason why he's so resistant to like changing and maybe you could say growing up is that those were traditions he had with his father, who passed away, what they said, like 5 years ago. So he would have been like, I want to say maybe like 12? No, not even, like maybe 10.
Yeah.
So it absolutely makes sense why he's really like muckling on to those traditions.
Yep. And that's what it was, trying to hold on to that because of his father's memory, and he doesn't want to let that go, which symbolically and he does in our denouement. But Kate finds the blueprints. He finds the blueprint, or our leading man finds the blueprints. And they discover there is a tunnel. So they go there and she flips open. There's a hatch and they go down the hatch, and it's like this is where we go to the tunnels, and it's freaking one hell of a set. It looks great.
It reminded me that's the part that reminded me of Goonies.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, I was like, where's One-Eyed Willie? Are we gonna have to play an organ at some point to escape an Indiana Jones-esque scenario? So it was pretty rad. It was pretty rad though. God, what up, Gap? Yes, I am. As a matter of fact, I am. I got to do an OnlyFans live after this, so I figured I'd just stay with one set tonight. But no, so they're in the tunnel system, and it leads to a literal house, like a complete little house, like a tiny house that's in this tunnel system. And they go into this house and they find the little box, and there's Windsor's there's his birth certificate that was in there or something.
I think it was there was some papers. I know there was a old, like when licenses were printed on paper. Have you ever seen one of those?
Not a driver's license.
Yeah, I remember though. I remember my father had his and it was on a piece of paper. It was wild looking. It was cool. So yeah, there was some of those, because remember, like he was in, what did you say? It was 1931. Yeah. So yeah, it makes sense that everything was on paper.
Yeah. So they find, and there's like all kinds of like little things down there that belong to him in this box, and this'll all come into play. So, and isn't it they figure out how to quell the spirit, get rid of the spirit, by using Jake's book that his dad gave him.
Yeah, his Encyclopedia of Shadows. Yep,
the Encyclopedia of Shadows. So while they're down in this house, though, we have another run-in with Windsor. So these are some cool gags. Him trying to get into the tunnel. The teddy bear breaks through the door, and then he can't open the hatch when he finds it because he doesn't have hands. And then he goes and he gets that big like Lubbock's with like it's got like a thing on the hand and another thing over here, but there's no hands. They're like,
one hand has this humongous circular saw, and then the other hand has a humongous mallet, like a clown hammer.
Yeah, he's like, that's what broke through the door, was that thing. And he goes over, he's like, oh, now I gotta go get one with hands. That was great. But the one he finds, now this reminded me of Malignant, the way that the gimmick thing walked in Malignant, because it was like this spider human that like did like a crab walk.
Yeah, that was cool. A night crawler. So the only reason why I know that's a night crawler is because I had captions on, and it said night crawler on it. But what I originally had before what I had originally written down for it was this hellhound type thing. That's what I described it as. But yeah, that was a cool thing.
I just called it the spider creature.
Yeah, it did look like that as well.
Yeah. So there, let's see. He finds them and he's trying to get into the house. He's banging on everything, trying to get in there, and they find the key to defeating him. Bo, they're running away out of the house, and Bo falls, and isn't he takes the bug spray. They've got the bug spray, and the lighter, and he fucking burns the fucking Nightcrawler. What up, J-Man? Hail, brother. Hey. He burns that thing. Burns it. What up, Tony? But yeah, that was a pretty cool scene. Again, Bo, he's got his shirt was like periodic elements and shit.
Yeah, he was all about chemistry. That was cool. I liked that.
Yeah, it was neat. It was neat. His character was cool. So Windsor, they're upstairs, and they're trying to get back up through the vent, and the shelf gets knocked over, and Windsor knocks over like marbles or some shit, and
like Kate, eyeballs.
Yeah, little eyeballs, and Kate falls and smokes her head, and he possesses her now.
Yeah, because one of the only ways that he can do it is you're asleep or unconscious.
Yep. So she's out, and she wakes up, and she's controlling all like the monsters in the store.
Like a puppet master.
Yeah. So the boys have got to figure out how to stop these things. And Carson, at the beginning, they made a point to show him he mods Nerf guns. And he had his guitar case with him when they came into the store. He's like little Antonio Banderas there.
Yeah.
I am the drifter. So he goes and gets his guitar case and pulls out his little ukulele. No, he's got a souped up minigun Nerf thing. And they do their montage of him shooting at all the and it's literally having no effect on him.
No, not at all.
They showed it cracking drywall earlier.
It looked cool though.
Yeah, it looked cool, but I thought it would have had a little more effect if it could crack drywall. I'm thinking it should be able to mess a few of these things up,
I know.
Yeah, it didn't really do anything. But so they get to, let's see here. Bo distracts he distracts Kate as Jake is going to get his book back because he needs his book. And they have to burn objects that Windsor has possessed. And you have to sacrifice something that means a lot to you. And before Kate got knocked out, she gave Jake it was a necklace.
Yeah, so her grandmother's locket.
Yes, but Windsor took it out of her pocket when he possessed the skeleton. So that's gone. And the thing that means the most to any of them at this point, Jake has been carrying the picture of his him and his dad and mom when he was still alive, when it was a Halloween photo. So he has to sacrifice that,
and Carson acts like a dick about it.
Yeah, he was like, oh, you guys, it's just a picture. It's like, he's like, let go, blah, blah, blah. It's like stupid trick-or-treating. Like, because they got into like a little pushing match beforehand. What up, Tone? And so they have all the stuff in the can. And what did they do? Didn't he rope Kate's foot?
Yep. So they strung her up by her foot.
Yep.
And then they took the Encyclopedia of Shadows back because since he was going to use the picture of his dad that meant a lot to him as a sacrifice, because see, the sacrifice is different for everybody. It has to mean, like, to those who are poor would be money, to the it's personal to each person. So that was his thing. So he decided, I'll sacrifice this. But then when Alec inhabited Kate, she went over to him and took the picture and ate it. So now he didn't have anything. now he's out of things to sacrifice. But then he's like, no, there is something else. The Encyclopedia of Shadows. My dad gave that to me.
Yes.
So that's how they decided, okay, yeah, we'll use the Encyclopedia of Shadows. And then they figure out how to get it back by stringing her up and then grabbing it while she's strung up.
Yep. So they burn everything, and voila.
Yeah.
Isn't that what happened? It just everything kind of reversed and
Yep. That's when the spell works because Alec's spirit leaves Kate's body, and then Kate wakes up and she's normal, and Jake goes to kind of lean in, and she's like, whoa, wait a minute, okay, this is never gonna happen. I love you, but this is never gonna happen, but you're my hero.
yep.
So like I was so rooting for them too, like for
I was
him
too.
to get the girl.
Yep.
But the way, even though it didn't happen, I'm okay with it the way they did it, because she wasn't like, oh dude, no, go away. She was like respectful, and she didn't just shoot him down, like make him feel like shit and stuff. She was just like, she was nice to him. She's like, you're my hero, and you know, at least tried to be nice.
Yep.
So I appreciated that.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, like I said, that's my notes. I said this is how the scene is. We need Chris Fisk to answer that. I said Jake's not going to get a kiss from Kate, and then his mom shows up to bring them home. Kate comes back and gives him a kiss on the cheek, and then they go home.
Yeah.
But we fast forward to November 1st, the next morning, and we see our Spirit Halloween employee shows up in the parking lot, parks his truck all kitty wampus.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I say kitty wampus.
My
in the
God, how
spot.
old are you?
I got to be up early for the early bird special. Listen, young lady, I got to eat supper before 3:30. I'm not paying full price.
Yes.
I got to go to bed right now. You get off my lawn, young man.
Yeah. So he walks in, he sees him still absolutely ransacked.
Yeah.
Like, that sucks.
It's like, how am I going to explain this?
I know. I wanted to kind of see more of it, but on the other hand, I'm kind of glad they just left it like that.
Yep. The ambiguity makes it funnier.
Yeah.
It is. It's more humorous. So then we fast forward 1 year to the future, and they have a great shot. Jake and his sister are out putting up Halloween decorations in the same princess decorations that she was trying to put up the year before, and he kicked one of them down like a dick. Mm-hmm. He's now helped her put up, and they've made them frightening. And they have like
dark princesses.
Dark princesses. And she is like a little zombie like princess, and he's got his suit and top hat, and he's kind of like, you can tell, much more confident in himself. That character arc is complete for him. He's mature.
He looks like a young man.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they're getting ready to go trick or treating, and his mom hugs him, and Frank goes, hey, he goes, thank you, be safe. He's like, thank you. And he goes to shake his hand, and then, him and Jake hug, and it's like, he's accepted Frank now, and, he's grown, and he's learned that, it's okay to let go. That doesn't mean you're letting go of the memories and the good things. That just means you're moving forward and you're progressing in life. And, it's a sign of maturity, and, just being able to let go, I think, is the theme.
Yeah.
It seems that is
moving forward.
Moving forward. Yep. So all is well. And then we zoom down to the little house in the tunnel.
Yeah.
And who do we find in there, Trina?
Oh, no, none other than Grandma. What was her name? Grandma G.
Grandma G.
Yep. She's chanting in some like foreign language. It seems like Latin, but it's not Latin, so it seems more ancient than that. But
Yep.
yeah, what she's saying is like rest, rest, and we find out that she is the girl in the beginning of the movie. She was a little girl, and they show the skull, and they do a flash of Alex's face, and there's like thunder and stuff outside the cabin, just like in the beginning how there's thunder in the sky when the woman who ran the orphanage started doing that spell. There was like thunder clouds rolling in. That's exactly what happened here. And then the skull lights up, and that's it.
Yeah, that's the end of the movie. They kind of left it open for a sequel.
Yeah.
In that respect. So I don't necessarily need a sequel to this.
I agree. It's perfect as it is. I don't know what, like, I mean, sure, you could bring Alec Windsor back and everything, but I feel like a little bit of magic will be lost if they do that.
Yeah, you don't need to.
No.
There's nothing else. There's nothing else to do. It's just, it's fine. It was a good ending. It's ambiguous. Is he gone? Will he come back? You know, but you don't really need to know.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, no, look, this movie has kids in it, and it's never mind. I'm not making that joke tonight.
I don't know anything about Joker 2. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it, but I know Joaquin Phoenix gets fucked by a bunch of guards. They fuck the Joker out of him.
No, like actual SA.
They don't show it, but yeah, he gets he gets car ramrodded by three COs. There's a screenshot of it that's online.
Come on.
Oh yeah, this movie was a big fuck you to everybody who liked the first one. Like, basically is what I'm hearing. Like, Jeff and them went to see it, and he reviewed it last Thursday without spoilers when I was on WCBS. So yeah, it doesn't sound good. No, that movie did not need to be a franchise. Now they're going to lose money. They've already. Yeah, it's no.
Manliness. I could not agree more.
Yep. This is a movie that's fine as it is. It was fine and fun, and it's got rewatchability. Like, it's not a Halloween movie that I would watch like all year long, but around this time of year, absolutely, this is it's a fun movie. You know, it's kind of like I said, it's like although the Goosebumps movies, I'll watch those anytime. Honestly, I enjoy those. That's something I actually still can watch, and I don't absolutely hate Jack Black and Ken Jeong in it, because Ken Jeong's in the second one, and dude's hilarious. Like, I know he's a nutcase and shit, but he's fucking hilarious. What up, Anime Night? Yeah, man. I heard that Joker 2 movie was dog shit, bro. I heard that.
That's, you know, like I didn't really have any hope for Joker 2 to begin with, but hearing that, I won't even check it out.
Once I heard number one, Lady Gaga was in it, I was done. And then musical, they didn't lose me at musical, but I'm just like, they did with Joker 2, because that didn't need to be a musical.
Yeah.
You know, that's where this one is just like, leave this one alone. Leave Spirit Halloween alone. Let it exist. So what I liked about this, like I said, the plot of the movie was pretty simple, straightforward. You know, you got your exposition dumps during the little play. The beginning of the movie was exposition, the opening scene, and they didn't leave too much to the imagination. They took you they took you from step to step to step, you know.
Right.
There was no, well, was it, you know, nothing, no gray area really in the plot.
No, it's definitely easy enough for kids to follow with. Like, you can tell that they had kids in mind when they made this movie, but it's also enjoyable enough for adults as well.
Yeah.
So I really think it gets my respect in that regard, because that's sometimes very hard to do.
Yeah, you know, they found the skull. We're twins, I swear to God. But you know, I know that was a bad joke. Self high five though. Self high five, Jerry. We're fine. Face palm.
Oh God, here we go.
I know. Like I said, it's not prop. Look, Trina, I'm shackled to the prop comedy.
I'm waiting for one of those big canes to come on screen and like put.
Yep, the hook,
like a vaudeville act.
Yep. I swear to God, if I start getting tomatoes and other vegetables, who was bringing tomatoes into the theater?
I don't know. Why was that ever a thing?
There's just random satchels full of vegetables. What are you bringing vegetables in for? In case the show sucks.
Yeah, like what?
I spent a week's pay on these vegetables, and I intend to throw them at one of the performers this evening.
You know, they weren't Italians. Or they could have been Italians. They could have been like, oh, these are the tomatoes we can't use for the sauce, so we'll throw these ones.
I can't make the gravy with these. They're all
gravy,
bruised.
Yes, gravy. My Nana called it gravy. Oh my God, it drives me crazy.
My neighbor's Sicilian. He was born on the other side.
Yeah.
And he that's what I was talking about, making the gravy. He goes,
yeah.
He's like, that's a yep. So you gotta learn. And that's why the first time I had him taste it, because I made it with the tomatoes and everything out of my garden. So I got his seal of approval on it.
Nice.
He's like, and he owned a restaurant. His father owned a restaurant. He's like, he goes, you know, don't get full of yourself. He goes, but it's got a good flavor. I'm like, okay, all right, you know.
Nice.
I'm like, I didn't expect perfection. It's the first time I ever made it from scratch. So, but that was a good feeling.
Yeah, that's a compliment.
Yeah.
In both regards. One, he's a chef, and two, he's Sicilian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that made me feel good. But it got the this of approval. I don't know what you got, but it got this. This movie's fun. If on a 1 to 5. Wait. I'm not done yet. We're not done yet. So we talked plot. The set pieces were fantastic. Really, they were. For, like I said, I don't know what the budget was, but this movie, and I want to say, I didn't really see any areas where it looked cheap.
Yeah, I did see one little tiny nitpick, and it was next to that little house down in the cave where the night crawler thing, they kind of like zoomed in on it, and he went close to the ground, and you could tell that was CGI, but it was just a split second. It was only a split second.
Yeah.
Or maybe it wasn't. I don't know actually if it was CGI or just the way it was filmed, but it was it was a little off. But literally, that is the only thing that I could even think of. And it's like I said, a split second.
Yeah, it wasn't too. Yeah, it didn't go too long. See, I didn't even really pick that out. I was probably honestly writing. I was like, there was parts like I'd have to like, I'm trying to write, and I've got like different colored bulbs in my living room now, so the lighting's not the best in there, you know, because I didn't want to turn a lamp on. Got all the Halloween lights on and shit, you know, we're watching this, so I'm trying to write in the dark basically, and watch the movie at the same time. But no, I missed that part. But Yeah, that, like I said, I looked for it too. I'm like, because going into it, I'm like, is this going to be like? And this is way better than the Asylum movies. I'll tell you that. Way better budget than an Asylum movie. Better effects. No, the effects in this were good though. They really were.
Yeah.
Like you said, yeah, that one little nitpick, but other than that, even like the creature effects were good.
Yep.
Yeah, it looked good. Like I said, the town looked good. The theater looked good.
Yep.
They showed the school briefly. The tunnels, like I said, that was definitely a sound stage. Looked clean. It looked like a world you could walk around in. Like you said, that was very reminiscent of the Goonies.
Yeah.
In that part. So everything, like I said, cinematography, the wide shots in the beginning, the establishing shots were beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, visuals were good. So I didn't have any issues there. As far as characters go, outside of Jake, there really wasn't much depth outside, like him and Kate. You know, it was just like, you know, nobody else really, like, it's not like his mom went through any character development. Frank didn't really go through any character development. He was, you know, he was just waiting for Jake to accept him. You know, the little sister, she had a small arc, obviously, because she came around to doing the scary stuff, you know, in that like elapsed year between the events and where we leave the movie. So, you know, she's dressed up in a scary like skeleton or, you know, zombie princess, a dark princess like makeup. So she's obviously changed a little bit. We don't get to see that, but it's implied. Jake obviously goes through a full character arc. But Bo and Carson were pretty static.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think that the movie necessarily needed them to have much depth, because it seemed to me like their purpose was just to fuel Jake's arc, and Bo was kind of like a little bit of comedic relief.
Yep.
So I feel like I feel like that all worked. And and also as far as acting, I thought the little girl did a great job. I mean, she wasn't heavily featured in the movie, but she, you know, like I feel like her acting was good.
Yeah, in the scenes that she was in, yeah, she wasn't like one of those annoying kids.
Yeah,
no, she was fine in the role. And I think the same can be said for pretty much all the cast in this.
Yeah, I agree.
They fit their roles well. Jake was a good final girl.
Yeah.
No, Kate's character, she really didn't change, but she was the girl that was kind of the key to everything. But it wasn't over the edge or where it puts you. It wasn't off-putting in any way with her. So I don't have any problem with that per se.
No, I agree.
No, Christopher Lloyd was Christopher fucking Lloyd. You know.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. The older Christopher Lloyd gets, the more he turns into his character from Roger Rabbit.
Oh my God, I forgot he was in that.
He was, yeah. Wasn't he the fucking mayor of Toontown? Or no. What the fuck was his character's name? I can't remember.
I can't even remember.
I can't remember what his character's name was. But anyway, so I enjoyed this. Honestly, let's see. How do I want to score this one? This is a safe movie to watch with the family. You know, it's fun, it's wholesome, like Trina said. You've got the nice scary aspect of it, but there's no gore or violence. I know this is still more horror than The Town That Dreaded Sundown.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's true. Oh man, I didn't even think of that.
It is.
Wait,
This is more horror than The Town That Dreaded Sundown, and that has actual kills in it.
You know, this actually reminds me. Tina Bojan doesn't like gore, blood, and stuff like that. This is a movie she could watch.
Yes, this
Definitely.
I think she'd enjoy this one.
Yep.
Her and Good Take Bojan would probably enjoy this one. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna score this one first, because I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, that's where I'm at as well.
Yeah, that's we're in consensus on this one. And I know there's people thinking, well, you're scoring this a lot higher than you scored movies that are probably better. Well, this one hit all the notes for me. It wasn't perfect, but it's a perfectly enjoyable family Halloween movie.
Yep.
You know, like I said, you watch this with the kids, you can watch this with grandma and grandpa. You know, it's a wholesome family movie. You know, I wasn't sure. Like all I did was read the description. And I'm like, okay, like, you know, little, like you said, Goonies, Stranger Things, 80s homages in there, even though it's set in the modern day. The technology is at play a little bit, but once the story kicks into gear, it's completely out of the equation. And, you know, so that really made it more enjoyable for me.
Yep. Same.
I don't like when the movies get too tech reliant.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, I mean, there's obviously certain stories where it works, but in horror, most of the time, it's, I don't know, I could do without it, especially in like slasher movies. But it worked. It was very advantageous in this. God damn it, Tony! Did you see? Look at this. If you want to watch a damn scary movie, check out Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Voldemort returns. Oh shit! I'm not supposed to say his name, am I? Does it count if I don't? I don't even know if I've seen all the Harry Potter movies, to be honest with you.
I love the Harry Potter franchise. I am not even going to apologize for it.
No, you don't have to. I was never, I don't know. I wasn't in, I don't know. It never really, well, I was older when it came out, but there's certain things you could watch like that. It doesn't matter how old you are. For me, it just never really resonated. It wasn't, I mean, they're fine. I don't hate them. They're fine. The ones I've seen, I watched 1 or 2 of them with Trey. He enjoyed them. I'm like, great. You know, it's not something I would go out of my way to watch. But if Trey's like, hey, let's watch this, Dad. All right. You know, I've spent more time watching bad entertainment, you know, and those are good movies. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm fine watching those. The scariest movie for Hollywood could be Chris Hansen Returns. Why don't you have a seat? Why don't you sit down? Oh,
Who's
God.
Chris Hansen?
Chris Hansen was the guy from To Catch a Predator. Remember that show where they used to bust the PDF files?
Oh my God, yeah.
When I was doing a feature for the show last year on Devil's Night in Detroit, how Detroit was world famous for the carnage and fires on Devil's Night. I mean, there was news crews from Japan that would come over to cover it. And as I was researching this and collecting archival footage, I came across a very young Chris Hansen working for WXON in Detroit, I think it was, or WPIX, in like 1990. He was doing a Devil's Night report. It was kind of fucking crazy. I was like, holy shit, that's Chris Hansen. I didn't know he worked in Detroit.
Nice.
But yeah, it was kind of funny. But yeah, so that was Spirit Halloween. Let's see. One more piece of housekeeping before we go. We got new stuff in the merch store. You can go to that tab right on the channel, the store tab, and check out the new merchandise. But if you're too lazy to do that, I'll show you. Here you go.
Get your Wrestling with Horror merchandise at Wrestling with Horror on Teespring. We have coffee cups, stickers, hoodies, t-shirts, New Wakui in order merch, and still that classic place to be reviews, Etep and mini Etep hoodie. All available on our merch store on Teespring. That is teespring.com/wrestling with horror. Use promo code ORDER to get 10% off for the next 30 days. Once again, that's teespring.com/wrestling with horror. Promo code EARLY to get your 10% discount on some great Wrestling with Horror merchandise.
Do promo spots count? Because if they do, that's $250.
No, I think that one, we'll let that one go.
Okay, good. I was like, I can't mute it and go. Oh God, but yeah, that's pretty much what we got tonight, folks. I am going to take tomorrow night off. No watch party tomorrow night. Look, I streamed before Saturday last week. It was 7 straight days. I took Saturday off. I streamed Sunday. I streamed Monday. I streamed tonight. I'm going to take tomorrow off. You'll get a video tomorrow, channel members. I got something for you. I'll be over on World Class Bullshitters again on Thursday, sitting in for Coach Kendo. So I will be the fourth, not the fifth this week, the fourth. So you can catch us over there 8:35 as we take a dump on pop culture. I'm the pinch shitter, as I've been told. The pinch shitter. I like that. I'm going to put that on my title for when I'm over there. But Trina, what do you got going the rest of the week?
Thursday at 8:30 p.m. on either Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective's channel, or you can also watch it on Vinnieart's channel. We have Collectible Past. And yeah, that's about it for me. This was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this review. Thank you all, everybody, for joining us, and anybody watching on the replay, thank you as well. I hope everybody has a great night.
Have a great one, everyone. We'll catch you on the next one. Remember, it's always better to burn out than